everyone, it's Michelle from Scrap Secrets and welcome to another video. This video is for the hashtag pawgustart event. So this is our August hashtag event. And of course it has to deal with animals. So when I heard that that was the theme, I decided that my first project was going to be something with the Explorer and something with kittens, because I have two. They're not kittens, actually, they're cats. They just turned 12. So one of them is sitting in my craft room with me right now snoring. I don't know if you can hear it, but she's in here and they're always here. So I just thought that that would be the first thing that I did, was something that had to do with cats. So I went through my stamps and I found this Cards TV Here Kitty stamp set. So I thought I wanted to use this Meowly Christmas. Now I wanted to use the Explorer with at least one of my projects for this art event, and I wanted to build off of the card base that I did for my goddaughter's birthday card from last month. And if you guys didn't see that, you can use the hashtag #LoveSummerArt to watch that video. It's a couple of videos back, and it's where I took two purse images and welded them together. Well, I'm going to take this one step further, and I'm going to show you how to add something to an existing image. So the cat image that we're going to use is just a regular cat image. And we're going to add a Santa hat and show you how to do that so that you can create a shaped card base to make all kinds of cool cards. So you can take it in whatever direction that you want. It doesn't have to be a Santa hat. You could have a birthday hat. You could have a present. You'd have it holding a flower. You can basically add things to an image and get a totally different look out of it. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to come over to the left-hand side and we're going to hit Insert Images. So I'm going to type in the search bar cat, and I know the cat that I want to use. I've actually already cut out the pieces. So the cat is down here. I just want to show you how I did it. So if you click on this little eye here, it tells you what cartridge it's from. So this is from Create a Critter. So I'm going to click back on here and it's going to give me the little check mark. And then down here, this green button, Insert Image. So now that I've inserted the image, I want to copy it, and all I'm doing is right-clicking, copy and paste. You can also do Control-C for copy and Control-V for paste. So we have two images here. Now I want to do the same thing. I want to go back to Insert Images, and instead of a cat, I'm going to insert the Santa hat. And I know which one I want to use, and it's from the Photo Booth Prop. Oh, here we go. This one is from the Photo Booth Props cartridge. So we're going to do the same thing, insert image, and here I have the Santa hat. So now before I resize any of the cat images, I'm going to resize the Santa hat. So I'm going to put it on the cat's head. But see, that's almost in the cat's eye. So this looks almost like a U or a C with an arrow on it. What you can do is you move that and it adjusts the hat. Put it down just a little bit, tilt it maybe just a little bit more, so it's a little bit more out of the cat's eye. Okay, so we're going to put this image off to the side because we're not going to need that right now. We're going to be working on the one with the cat with the Santa hat. So we're going to highlight the whole thing, so there's a box around it, and then you're going to right click and hit Group. Now what that's going to do is that's going to put the image together. If you hit Attach, it's going to make everything the same. I believe it's going to make everything the same color. So you don't want to do that. You just want to group it together. So the next thing you're going to want to do, now that those are grouped together, you're going to want to copy and paste this image. So now this one's going to have the one with the Santa hat on it. So now what you're going to do is go over to the Edit screen over here, and then there's a little mirror button here. So you can make it go side to side. So if you wanted to do them side to side, or you can do up and down. So for this, we want to do up and down. So you want to slightly, let me turn the camera back over here. You want to slightly overlap the hats so they're attached. And what you want to do is highlight the whole thing, and then you're going to go back up to the layers portion, and you're going to want to hit the weld button. And this is going to weld all the images together, and see how it just turned them brown? So that's just going to make the card base, which is why we left this guy over here, because we were going to want the layers to decorate the front of the card. So what I'm going to do, let me move the camera back. Sorry guys, I hope you're not getting seasick. I made mine almost 11 inches long because that will give me almost a 5.5. I think I did 7.5. That will give me almost a 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch card base. Okay, so here's the base of the card. We're going to scroll down a little bit more. And if you want to change the color of this, like I try to keep the colors true to the colors that I'm going to cut things out. So we come back over here. We're going to do, I changed this to black because I cut the card base out in black. I'm going to show you another trick to what I did in a minute. So let's bring the card base over here and see how this image goes behind it. All you have to do is click on it and say move to front. And then that'll bring the image to the front. Now we're going to try to make this one the same exact size. So kind of just line it up. It may be a teeny tiny bit off, but it's not going to make that big of a deal when you put it together. Okay, so now over here are all your layers. So what I did was I made this red. So I made the bow and the nose red. And then this layer is gray. I kept that gray, that's fine. This layer, I'm going to change this one to white. And the reason is, I'll show you in a minute. So the back layer we hid. Okay, so now the other thing we have to do is go back and insert that same Santa hat. And we're going to do the exact same thing. So it really would have been easier if I sized it before I did this, but this will give you an idea. Okay. So now we have the Santa hat. Now, I want to go back and make sure the colors are the exact same colors that I chose so that they cut out on the same page. So, because if that wasn't, the bow and the nose would have cut out on a different layer than the hat. So I want to make them all the same color just so that it cuts down on the paper that I use. Okay. So now we're going to ungroup this because what we're going to do is we're going to use this as the inside liner. Because if you just have a black card on there, a black card base, you're not really going to be able to write except in white pen. So I wanted a white liner in there, but I wanted it to go over the whole card. Then the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and I'm going to paste this. Because if you do that on to pretend this is the inside of the card, you're going to have the top. So you want another hat to go over top of it. So now you have a hat for the outer layer. This is the interior layer. This is what's going to go on the front. So the cat is going to have a black base on the bottom of it instead of the white. So this is what the front is going to look like. Let's move this to the front. So that's what the card's going to look like. Then we're going to score here and it's going to be folded. So now I've cut out all the layers, so let me just take a second. I'm going to redo my camera and then I'm going to show you how to put this all together and then give you a tip on how you can do this with a machine that is not the Explorer, that's not hooked up to the internet. Okay, we're back. So I'm going to show you the pieces. So this is the card base. This is what it's going to look like. Here is the white layer, and yes, I did accidentally cut it out on some Christmas paper, but you're not going to be able to see. I pulled it out and it was upside down. I thought it was white paper until I took it off of the mat. And then this is what the Santa hat looks like. So we have 2 of those. Get them out, so we'll just put them together. And then we have the bow and the nose for the cat. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to score the card base. So you're going to take it, I'm going to line it up just in one of the little tracks. I'm just going to make a couple of scores. And look at how perfectly that lines up. How nice that is. So, I don't have my ATG guns up here. My twin niece's birthday were yesterday, and actually it was my dad's birthday as well. They were all born on the same day. So I brought all that stuff over to my sister's house so that we could finish up all of the decorations that we made. So I don't have that stuff up here. So I'm just going to use the Zig, but it probably would be quicker if you used the ATG on the other things, or wet glue, whatever glue you like. Actually, I prefer Zig. Okay. I'll put that hat together. There's one of the Santa hats. So you're going to do the same thing with this one. And there's my mistake. I cut out the first Santa hat and then forgot I needed a second one, and realized I probably should use regular white cardstock, not some of the Christmas stuff. Okay, so here is that hat. Make sure everything is sticking down. So then this goes on the inside. This is going to be the inside liner. So it may not line up exactly perfectly, but you're going to get in the ballpark. And it's the same thing with layering any kind of piece of, or images that you did from Cricut. It doesn't always, there's always a little room for error. If a little bit of black sticks out, I'm not going to be too concerned with it. I just want to make sure there's room for my sentiment. So here's that. And then we're going to take one of these Santa hats and we're going to glue it down. Because now that there's an extra layer or two in there, the fold may not be as good. But so the Santa hat actually has to go down a little bit. So what I would recommend doing, if this is what you're going to do, you can do that because it doesn't look too bad with the black around it. What I would recommend doing is maybe making it a little bit smaller at the top. I did not think about that when I was doing it. I've not put this together. This is the first time. I was just trying to come up with a different idea in my head, and I wanted to kind of build off that image that we did last time, because I think that I actually did a card for my nieces for their birthday. I did Princess Castle, and I welded images together and I posted them up on a Cricut board, and people were very curious as to how I did it, so I thought that I would do something like that for this, but add an extra layer to it. Okay, so we're going to put this layer on. So I was saying that if you guys have an older machine, like an Expression, what you can do is cut out two images that are the exact same, like this cat image, and then you can just glue the hat on top of it. And then what you can do is just score. I'll show you in 1 second. Do some creative scoring. So what you do is you would take two images, put them together like this, and the second image you would score on the back a little bit, and then glue them together. Take this part, put glue right on the top of that, and glue them together. So I might make a video on how to do that. So now we're going to put some glue on this, because that explanation probably was not very good. I've seen it done before. I've Googled it, and I've found YouTube videos on how to do it, how to make a shaped card if you don't have a machine like the Explorer, if you still have the Expression. So now we are going to use that Meowly Christmas sentiment from Cards TV, and to decide what color, I used my swatches, my ink swatch book here to pick out the color, and we're going to be using My Favorite Things Hybrid Ink in Gumdrop Green. So we're going to ink up the sentiment Meowly Christmas. And wipe away the excess. And there you go. There's the card. So that's showing you guys how to take two images in Design Space, weld them, add an image, weld them together, and create a cute shaped card that you can decorate. So I'll probably put a little bit of stickles around the white on the hat and maybe some red on the bow and the nose. But for now, it's done. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching. If you'd like, put in the search bar hashtag pawgustart, PAWGUSTART, all one word, and you will find a ton of different artists' videos on there that are participating in this event. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, leave comments, and subscribe. And I will see you guys next time. Thanks, bye!